Hello, good evening. You're welcome to Opinion Sharers once again. And my name is Paul. And tonight, like we used to do, we are here again to discuss the topic that we continued. I think this is the third series. This is the third part and the last leg of the series. And we'll be focusing on how money influence women or how we money influence women in relationships generally. So, and I'm going to be trusting that the women here will not crucify me today, because I really want to get into the discussion to see how money, the subject of money, and this is not just about African women or Nigerian women. I think it's about women generally worldwide, that money plays a lot of role in them making decisions, including relationship decisions. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. I have Abi in the house, I have Yetunde, I have the village boy, and Madam Dorothy is still struggling. Tunde is also perhaps still struggling, but they will be joining us. So that's what we'll be doing. So please let us quickly grab the link and share it. Share. I remember that with Dr. Sunday Adelaja in those days. So,
No comment.
and I'm sure Sister B also remember it.
I
So
beg,
please
no
share,
comment.
share, share. I'm going to be sending the link to your WhatsApp if you don't have the link yet, and I also want to send the link to some of my friends. So please help uh, help us share it. Okay, I'm still struggling with getting the link, but I'm surely going to get it. Okay, some two people already shared the link. Thank you for those who have already shared it. And I'm going to be going to some people's WhatsApp now to share the link. Uh, Village Boy, I dropped it for you just in case you don't have it yet.
I already share it
Okay, thank you.
both on the page and on my wall.
Thank you. I'm sending it to Sister B now. I'm sending it to Madam Dorothy, and I'm sending it to Yeti as well. So please help us share the link. Just click on it and, you know, click share. I'm sure that it's going to be fantastic today, the discussion. One more person I want to share it to. Yeah, okay, and one more. Okay, you're welcome from sharing the link. So let's quickly do a brief introduction of ourselves. And I'm going to start with Madam Dorothy. Madam Dorothy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So, good
Okay.
morning, everybody. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dorothy Frank Taylor.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you, ma'am. Tunde, please introduce yourself. Please don't play the
Hello,
audio.
everybody. Good, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching us. My name is Babatunde Alade Okomo. I'm glad to be here again.
Thank you. Abby, it's your turn.
My name is Habib Fash Oye. Um, I'm glad to be here.
Okay, thank you. All right, Yeti.
Okay, good evening. My name is Cindy and I'm very happy to be here this wonderful.
Uh, I am guessing she said this hot afternoon or evening. The village boy.
Good evening, good morning, good Good day everywhere you are watching. I am the village boy.
All right, the village boy. Thank you so much. So, in the comment section, we have Sarah. Sarah is my sister from Abu Dhabi. She's saying good morning, ma. And thank you, sister Sarah. And that's my Kenyan friend there, Kefa. He's also saying productive topic. Thank you, Kefa. Kefa is going to be joining us in some of this discussion in the future. I want to get a perspective of the Kenyan people. I would have wished him to be able to join us for this topic. I want to see if whether Kenyan women also like money. But I think I'm going to start from there. So I'm going to start with Madam Dorothy. Do you think women like money?
um, everyone likes money, really, but women, I won't say they like money more than everybody else. They like money like every other person. But the problem is that women have made money their consultants, their counselor. They base all decisions they make on money. They base their choices on money. As far as some women are concerned, money is everything. It's not that a man has money or he doesn't have money. If he doesn't have money, they think they are blinded by money and not to see his character, his behavior. So women have made money as basis for everything they do in life. They make money-based decisions. That's the only problem. But every human being likes money. But making money your master, making money your only reason to get into a relationship, that's not that's a problem. Not all women, but some, in fact, majority of the women, I would say. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to ask Abby, how much money? I mean, how important is money in relationship?
Money, just like every other thing, is important in relationship. And now the concept of money, women liking money in relationship, does not begin from women. It starts from the society. So saying women likes money is just like going to get a tree and you don't know where the tree erupts from, and then you just pluck a fruit there. So a society where women are considered an object or a subject of ridicule or a property or an accessory or something of that nature, then money is necessary, because without money, you can't sustain even that relationship. Now, should money be the bedrock of you choosing a partner or somebody to go out with? Probably no. But I could say that because probably I live in a third world country. If I live in Africa and I'm living in abject poverty, the question I'm going to ask myself is, would I think the same way? So there are questions to be answered before we jump into whatever conclusions. So does women like money? Just like Madame Dorothy said, everyone likes money. There's women's, the percentage of people who like money, because women are thinkers. So you would expect that they should like money. So there's women like money, just like every other thing, they do like money, and everyone likes money. I've yet to see who doesn't like money.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask Tunde. Tunde is a young and single man who is going to be you know I don't want to say Tunde is already on the lookout, but I'm sure that very soon that he might be you know becoming a couple. I mean becoming coupled. So Tunde, I want to put you on the seat. Do you think, in your own opinion, and judging from your experience with young guys like you who are thinking of marriage, how important do you think money is to average women? You're muted. You're muted.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that question. I think to a certain extent, the issue of women and money is a topic that is very ambiguous. But then there is a belief system that we already inherited that women love money. But before we talk about whether women love money or they do not love money, I think there are some other things that we should be able to define what is embedded in the money that women love. And I think at this point, we should be able to factor in other material things when we are talking about money, because not only the raw cash that we will be considering as the money that we are talking about here. So, having said that, if we can be able to factor in the issue of material things, to a certain extent, depending on uh, the geographical position you are talking from. Take for instance, someone from a lady from Europe or from the developed countries like in the US. What they really look out for in a man may be totally different from what a lady in Nigeria, for instance, or other African countries will be looking out for. So, to a certain extent, we can say, in terms of material resources, in terms of flashy things, in terms of money, to a certain extent, women are easily attracted to things like that. But to look at it generally, it is not only women that need money. All of us, as a whole, need money to survive and to sustain ourselves. So I will say, to a certain extent, 60% women are attracted to material things and money.
Okay, Tunde, thank you. I'm going to ask Madam Yeti, you know, in your experience with other women, do you think they consider money very important when thinking about a guy?
I think they do. And again, I'll say the reason I think they do is because nobody wants anything to do them sticky to. If you go in there looking for to play themselves sticky to, I think that's what the thing is. You don't want to go in there looking for love, looking for affection. You get in there, find out that the guy is playing games or whatever, and then you come out there after having given so much of yourself. You come out there with nothing at all. So a lot of women are like, you know what, money we know, money we can trust. So money, money, money. But I think that comes from relationships being a certain kind of way at this time. Because I do remember when I was talking to my mom, when she was talking about when she was talking to my dad when they were going to get married. The only thing she didn't know was that my father had a good job, and not a great job. It was just enough to pay the bills and whatnot. What they looked at was his integrity. He had to be honest. Her parents liked him. They knew his home, and things like that were important to them. And I don't think so much has changed. It's just that, as I said, relationships are a little different. The paradigms for relationships are a little different right now. Everybody likes money, but money is the one thing in relationships in life that when you are leaving the relationship with, you can even see in the case of divorce, they'll be like, what did they get? They got half of what that other person got. And so they're like, no, you don't hammer now. They're not thinking about the loss of the relationship, the loss of companionship, all that kind of thing. So yes, I think women like money, but it's because they've used love to knock them over the head a few too many times. That's my view. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. She seemed to be blaming us now, at least in the concluding statement. But then,
Yes, sir.
let
Yes,
me
sir.
bring.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, why?
I'm not quite blaming. I'm not blaming the men. I'm blaming society. I'm blaming society more. I'm
Okay.
saying that there was a particular session we had even on this thing where we were talking about the way relationships are conducted nowadays. That things are a little easier. People find it a little more difficult to be focused on one person, one thing, and stuff like that. So because of that, everybody has had to evolve and adjust as best they knew how to.
Thank you.
So it's
Thank you
not like
for
I'm blaming you,
clarifying.
the society.
All right. Now, the village boy.
Well, thank you. I think I may go a bit philosophical today, but I will try to be as clear as I can. Yeah, even when we were growing up, what we were told, at least in Yoruba language, that "Owo lobirin ma," meaning that the only thing a woman knows is money. Um, that is in perspective. So the ontology of it was okay. Yes, women are more attracted to money than men. But I want to look at it from another angle, the needs analysis. We do need analysis. The truth that women are more expensive to maintain than men. And I learned that lesson from my father when I was growing up. As a young teenage boy, I felt that more attention was given to my sister, my elder sister, than me. And I went to my father one day. I complained, "Why is it so?" He told me, usually, he will sit me down, we talk, say, "Look, hey, you, what you need and what your sister need are not the same. Your sister, being a woman, young, growing, woman, need this, and she explained those things to me, and I got that message right from then. That is why today, even if you have a spouse, a female spouse that is earning than you, if you are a man that is grounded in the native wisdom and intelligence, you will know that out of the blue, you will still give your woman money. What you use to maintain yourself as a man is nothing compared to what an average woman needs to, you know, maintain herself. We don't have to spill out everything today. So that is why I also always advocate that if you, a reasonable man, should be sensitive to the monetary need of his spouse. Yes, I don't agree that you should, in a relationship, you put money at the forefront, because money, again, the Yoruba ontology tells us that alejo lowo, which means money is a stranger. Money comes and it goes. So if money is the foundation of any relationship, there's every likelihood that that relationship will not survive. Yes, women need more money than men on a very simple scale. And a reasonable man should understand this fact, that if you have a relationship, what you need as a man to maintain yourself is a fraction of what your woman will need to maintain herself. And it is not her fault, it is what nature has imposed on her. I think we should be empathic about this. I'm not speaking about greed now. I'm speaking about normalcy. I'm speaking about needs. I'm not talking about wants. I'm talking about the need. An average woman need more money than a man to meet her regular needs. Thank you. You are muted, Paul.
Sorry. Thank you. I want to go to the second lap of the discussion. And my question is going to be maybe a little bit more direct. And the question is this: how much money is required while preparing for marriage? I'm talking especially from the perspective of a man. And I think maybe every one of us will have to answer this question. So I'm starting with Abby.
I think it's individual preferences, really. How much money? Honestly, I don't know, because, like I said, individual preferences.
How much is enough?
I don't
Can,
think. Did you say for wedding or for marriage?
for marriage? Your,
Hmm.
your 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 camera is moving down. Or is it up? Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so if you say that for marriage, I just think somebody should just have an adequate job that could sustain them. As you're growing up, one of the priorities for each and every one of us is to make money, save money, and invest, right? That's the priority. So if you have all that, then you just need a running income to sustain yourself. So there's not really like much of, go and get 5 million, go and get 10 million, because you can't place value on such things. So in my opinion, we are supposed to have gotten all those things. Now, in the absence of those things, do you have any kind of income that can sustain two people in the absence of maybe something happens because you are joining together? Both parties, really. I'm not really fussy about being a man or being a woman. Everybody should be able to be a contributor, because you're going in there as partners. Forget the hierarchy now, because I know that's really important, but you're going there as partners. So both parties has to be financially stable. And by that, it just means that you have a couple of things that you have invested in, you have saved on. But when those things are not there, that's when we want to run, and be running helter-skelter to get things done differently. So it's all about planning before marriage. It's not about marriage then planning, which is what most of us do. So it's always like plan, have your sustainable income, and by that have money, earn your good money, save, invest, think about the investment, see how you can multiple that investment, see that you have somebody that has shared values. If you are somebody that likes to save and you get married to somebody that likes to spend without saving, and I think it's very average to say that the way we're being brought up is like we're brought up to earn money. Many of us, and I'll say that inclusively, many of us are brought up to probably just earn money, not really save, not really invest. So as time goes on, if we put that into part of the things that we're going to be doing or that we're already doing, then getting married to someone shouldn't cost you a fortune. You don't need to place money on that. Just affordable things. Whatever I'm assuming the people that are getting married already have, maybe they have probably properties, if not houses, if not businesses, if not good job, and they're earning well enough, so they don't really need to put too much value on how much they need to have in order to get married. But when those things are missing, that's another topic for another day. Of course, you can't estimate, depending on the society where the people are living. If they're living in a third world country, they're living in Africa, if they're living in Nigeria, then you have to put all those factors in place by putting price, costing, and everything in place. So if you are earning 50,000, for instance, and you don't have any sustainable income and you want to get married, if I'm part of the planning committee, my answer is going to be no. If you're earning 50,000, 100,000, then you're not ready. You're not ready. So in Nigeria, so that's what I would say. You're not ready. So until you can double those income, and those income are very, they're okay for you. And that's for me, because I believe so much in golden rule. So if I'm going to say that for my son, I want a wife that is capable, as well as, my son as well has to be okay. So, so it's vice versa. So I won't put any monetary value on how much anyone should get before they get married. That's just me, my opinion.
Okay, thank you. I was going to ask you a question, but I think you clarified it, and that is, if you are earning so amount of money. So, were you talking about a man, or you are talking about both parties?
I'm talking about both parties, because I believe in a certain form of equality, not necessarily equality as if there is no leader, but equality in the sense that what is good for good for the gander. If I have a son that's going to get married to a woman that is not working, the answer is no.
Okay.
And vice versa.
Thank you. All right. I want to ask Yetunde, and I want you to speak on behalf of the people that you've known. So I don't want you to speak like the the businesswoman that you are and your experience, but I just want you to speak on behalf of the people that you have seen. Do you think money is important when making decision of guy, especially when a woman has choices
of guys
Yes. How much value or importance do they place on the
sorry,
guy
when a woman, sorry, you broke off.
Okay, I'm saying if a woman is making a decision,
they place serious value, heavy. Yeah, they place a lot of value on that, because I don't know who it is in this planet that as much as you love, nobody wants to struggle to pay their bills. You don't want NEPA to be coming to disconnect you every day and then you'll be begging. And after they finish going, I don't know how easy it is because it's very hot right now. I don't know how easy it is to do love in heat, in this kind of heat. You will just be eyeing the man as you are looking at him. Or maybe you'll be eyeing each other because I don't understand. So, I mean, but I think it's an important thing. He might not be a millionaire, you know, but they want a man that is able to pay the basic bills, pay the rent, that's what I always say is a man that can pay the rent, pay the utilities. There might not be much extras, as the village boy said, the wants, but as to the needs, everything is covered enough to know that you can have a comfortable time in your home. And the truth of the issue is that when you're picking a man, you're going to have to consider things like that, unless you are somebody that likes the gra life, where every time NEPA is coming to disconnect, you're going to fight. And every time water board is saying no water, and every time the vulcanizer is coming and saying, and madam, where's my money? If you don't mind that, then that's okay. But I think most people like a life where they can actually relax and things are flowing naturally, which doesn't mean that they don't work either, but they also know that it's good when you have a man that can supplement, if that is what is important to you. And I think that's what's important to a lot of people in Nigeria right now, being able to survive and pay their bills. It's very, very important when you're picking a man, but it's not the only important thing, even for them, even as of this point. That's why it sounds like it's foolish for people that that are thinking a particular way. They'll come and say, oh, the man bought me wig, he bought me what they call this thing that they say is bone straight. He bought me bone straight, he bought this. That's not what most other people are talking about. They're talking about, the man has a good job, he plans well, he can pay his bills, he takes care of his family, even if it's not that he has houses or whatever, but he pays his rent. When you go to see him, you see everything is taken care of. You see that this is a man that is on top of his game. So it's not really money, but you want a man that can take care of the home and take care of the things he needs to take care of. So it's important, but not in the way you think, not superlative, but it's very important. On behalf of the women I know.
Okay, thank you so much for that. All right, I want to go to Madam Dorothy. Madam Dorothy is a Nollywood actor. So I want her to gather the experiences and an experience of being a senior citizen as well, you know. So I want to ask her, how important do you think money is, to women of nowadays compared to women of the days when you got married? Putting in perspective the parents of the women as well.
Okay. The importance of money in marriage, in home, in relationship cannot be overemphasized. But putting too much emphasis on money is the reason why most boys want to be Yahoo, wants to scam, wants to make money by all means so they can marry that beautiful woman, not because they love the beautiful woman, they just want to show their friends that I can afford her. So we should be careful how we put money as a yardstick. I agree, we have to pay bills, but if you are coming to be a wife or a husband, how are you paying your bills before someone comes to marry you, before you go to marry someone? Life is not a bed of roses. There's nowhere it is easy. Looking at prospects of a man and a woman, more than the money he's making today, is important. A man may be making 50,000 today, but his prospects are there that in soonest he could make 200. We should also consider the fact that the economy. Are we saying that a man making 50 should not get married, should not raise children? It is important. What we can advise them, if you are making a small money, when you get married, don't give birth to more than 1 or 2 kids at most. But look for a lady that has prospects, a man that has prospects, a man that is hardworking. Some people are naturally lazy. A woman that is lazy shouldn't be a wife material. A man that is lazy shouldn't just bother getting married. But a man and a woman who is hardworking, who is focused, who has education or a trade. Everything is not about education. You have handwork. You have something you can use to feed yourself and feed an extra mouth. These are future prospects. Everybody cannot be rich today. Most people who marry, look at our hero now, Professor Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. When she married her husband, he wasn't rich. When Patience married Jonathan, he didn't know she was going to be a first lady. So sometimes we don't look at today, we look at tomorrow. Things to consider more are more of character, values, family background. Who is this man? Are you saying that a man can just go and kill and bring money and you are okay? I watch most rich boys. I call them boys because though they are rich, they're acting like boys. They are men, but acting like boys. They disrespect women. They disrespect their wives. They command them, talk to them anyhow in public. And those women, don't complain about equal submission between those men. No, they submit because money is ruling, money is controlling. Yes, a woman needs money. Everybody needs money. But there are things to look at more than money. Now, talking about those days, our parents didn't look at for money. Our parents looked at for family values. Even when they married on referral, men they never knew, but because they knew somebody who knew that man, who knew that woman, that this person is responsible. Today, we don't longer look at responsibility. A man is responsible, is reasonable, is wise. No, only how much does he have? How much is he?
I think Madam Dorothy is experiencing network issues there, so I'm going to come back to her. So let me quickly go to Tunde. No,
Hello?
you're breaking.
Jesus.
Okay, you're
Can
back.
you hear me?
Yes, you're back.
So I was saying that those days our fathers they married girls who have no education or handwork. They trained them in school. They trained them in handwork because they saw prospects. A human being with prospects is better than a human being with money. A Yahoo boy or a scammer whose money comes like the breeze that comes and goes. You are not your future. That person has no future.
Okay, I think Madam Dorothy is having issue again. So I'm just going to go from where she stopped. She was talking about a woman or man who has prospect, and I want to ask a village boy to use his village boy experience and knowledge. How do you know? How does a young man like Tunde, who is looking up to marrying soon, or later, or a woman that is watching this video, how do you know a man or a woman that has good prospect?
Thank you very much. Even in our time, when we want to marry, as a young man, they ask you, what do you do for a living? And when you say it is okay, what have you acquired? What education do you have? What trade have you learned? Have you experienced making money? So they use that one. It's I will tell you that marriage is like a dark market. You never know. You never know. There are a lot of unknown when you want to get married. So they ask you those questions. And remember in those days also it was more of a family to family. It is not like today that you meet yourself on social media and you like your picture, you chat midnight and all stuff like that, and you feel you are in love and you begin to post yourself as LOML, love of my life. And it's different from our time because the truth that people don't know themselves so much, so detailed that time. In those days, they do investigation. They will say, okay, this family, they have. Sometimes they examine you from the primes of your family, how the kind of integrity they have in your family, the kind of maybe you are well to do in the family, or you are hardworking. Let me also say, not necessarily criticizing Madam Dorothy. It's not every hardworking person that is successful. There's a difference between being hardworking and being successful. Because we used to say that if it is there's a proverb. Since you asked me to use a native village boy intelligence now, there's a proverb I used to make that if the amount of time that you spend on the farm is what make you a rich person, they will say akparo, which is I can't remember the English name now. I used it in one of my poems recently, but the name just disappeared now. It should be the richest in the farm, but it's not that rich. It's like a sparrow in the farm. It sleeps literally in the farm, but it's not that rich. So hard working does not mean good success. But when they look at whether you are making efforts, and they look at the pedigree, what you have achieved. Maybe you are a graduate, you have been working in the ministry. In those days, okay, you are working in the ministry, you are level 7, level 8. How long have you been working in the ministry? They look at, okay, the process of your baby getting promotion, whether you can make it to the director level and all those things. It's a blank gauging of what you can become. Nobody knows. That's the truth. Nobody knows how it will end. We just assume that, okay, there is a foundation. There is something about you that can give some hope that, okay, tomorrow all things being equal, you can succeed. But if you come out and say, okay, I left school when I was in class 4 or GSS1, I learned a trade that was supposed to be like 3 years, and I ran away after 2 years. There's no prospect in you. They will see you as an unserious person. They have to see that you have done something there is something tangible you have done. It's not that you have everybody is looking for who is a Dangote today or Michael Denuga. That's not the prospect we are talking about. What have you done and what are you doing? Even sometimes, okay, if you say you are a graduate, do you want to go back to school for your master's or your PhD? They ask all those questions then. So this gives them a kind of prospect, or what kind of profession you are. If you say, okay, you are in a teacher's college, and somebody say, oh, I'm studying law, another person say, I'm studying accountant. There is a rating, different rating for all these categories. Or somebody say, oh, I'm an engineer, or I'm a medical doctor. They have a kind of rating for all these things. So it is, but then they don't build on nothing. You must be up to something. There must be something that you are doing. There must be some little achievement you have made before they can say, okay, based on this, how far you have come, there's every likelihood, if things work well, that you can get to this point. But if you are at ground zero, or you are at ground minus, nobody will see that prospect. If you see the prospect, your in-law will not see it. So they will simply tell you that you are not ready yet for marriage. Thank you.
Thank you, the village boy. Thank you so much. You see, when and I'm glad that the village boy talked about what Madam Dorothy referred to as hardworking, being hardworking, because the meaning of hardworking has since changed. What used to be, from where I come from, what used to be hard work is that the amount of time you spend on the farm, cultivating. Maybe you can cultivate 1,000 in a day. I know men then in those days who can cultivate 1,000 heaps in the farm, and my dad would refer to him as a very hard-working man. But see, he was a poor. I think even the poorest of the poorest girls in the village would not want to marry him. This was people who struggled even to be able to get people or women to admire them. Yet he was hardworking, was one of the most hardworking people in the village in those days. So I'm going to ask Tunde. Tunde, how do you know that a woman has prospect for marriage? You're muted.
All right, thank you for the question. There are a lot of things that we look out for, if not for the fact that these days we now live in almost a confused society where the only basic thing that men look out for after they must have made go out there to make the dubious money, like Madam Dorothy said, go look for the money by all costs, just to come and show to someone. So the only thing they look out for more these days is maybe the beauty and whatever, whatever. But then, in terms of value, you look for convertibles. When I say convertibles, you look at someone who have a future in helping you to manage the marriage itself, the home itself, manage your finances. Uh, if that person has been someone who have been in one way or the other been engaging ourselves, maybe academically engaging ourselves in trade or in any form of crafts, you look at this, you look at the family background, like the village man will say. Gone are those days that gone are those days that you just wake up from nowhere, from an island of nowhere, and you just rush into a particular marriage. You rush into it, you rush out. By the time you see the set that that kind of family is made of. So it is very important that you, just the way you are trying to look at how the values that this person has. You know, you are not marrying only the woman alone. You are as well marrying the family. Also have to do your fact checks about that family. If there are families who will help their daughter, or and the family the daughter is about to enter to succeed, because they are the one that form the foundation of such a woman, and there's every possibility that they will still have some influence on that kind of woman going further. Another thing is uh, the strive of the woman herself. You know, take for instance, you are looking at a woman who is idle, or who is always at the receiving end. Bring. This kind of woman will add no value to you. But when you have a woman that is trying to like share opinions with you on how she's trying to add value to herself, these are kind of people, kind of lady one should look out for in the society. And let me conclude by saying that it is not only because there are some people, some extremists that will want to bring religion into the whole thing. That it is this lady that is always sleeping in front of the altar or on the altar that is the best person to be married. As much as I will not want to neglect the fact that we need God in marriages and in home, and we need a godly woman who can help us drive home that vision that we have as a man. We should not only base our our choice on that woman who is sleeping on the altar, but then the woman should be a bit of everything, and by so doing, we can be very sure that the future will be a better place for all of us to live.
Okay, thank you so much, Sunday, for covering that. And I want to ask, I want to go to Abi now. But before I go there, I'm going to say that I am still looking for, how a man or a woman, how you are able to decipher, how do you discern that, okay, this guy, this woman has prospect, even regardless of his present situation. Because what we have been saying, which I agree with, is that we have been paying attention to the present situation, the present condition of the person. Okay, maybe a man or a woman. So how do we decipher? And I don't want us to go into um, the last part of what Tunde had just mentioned. So anyway, it's opinion share, so you can say whatever you want to say. So I want to ask Abby, how do you decipher as a woman?
So it starts with one's value. And so when I was mentioning money there at the other time, I was mentioning the money based on the fact that if you have somebody that has shared value, that understand what a value system is, whereby they have a set principle that is guiding them. I'm not talking if you have somebody that doesn't have a job, or somebody that doesn't have a job. It's not that doesn't mean their life is ended because they don't have a job. But it means that they should now focus on the issue of having a job, then think of other things. You can't be what we see most times is that people that don't, maybe I don't have a job now, and then you see people that you see families saying, oh, you are old enough to get married, but this person that they are saying is old enough to get married doesn't have a job. And so these are kind of things that we need to first of all think about. Now, to your question, that how do you know? And it will only happen based on your value system. So somebody can be earning 10,000, can be earning 1,000, can be earning 2,000, but will still not make the right value system. So you mentioned something about hard working. If you're going to be working like those people that is working in the village, that work in the village, they work so hard without working smart. So with my current value, I would want somebody that will think of, okay, what smart way are you working with? What way? What are your plans for the future? You don't have it today. What plans? So let's see your plans. Let's talk about it. What plans do I have as well as a woman that is going to work together? So it's not just about just saying, oh, based on the way that I'm looking at this person, he said all the good things. He's going to be a good husband, It's just the job that he's doing today, and tomorrow everything is going to be okay. No. The thing is, what are the plans? Let's see it, lay it bare. Let everyone know what you want to do. And it's not just about talking, it's how you plan to actualize those things. So if I am bought into that principle, it's like you come to me now, you bring a proposal to me, and I see that proposal and I look at it. And I'm not just looking at the proposal because you are saying it in a very fantastic way, giving me all the perks and all that. I'm looking at the proposal, I'm doing my fact checking, I'm doing I'm basing my decision based on what you have done before and what you are currently doing now. And I'm looking at it, it's like, if you have some married couples before they got married, if you ask them what is their 5-year value or 5-year plan, you'll be shocked because they have no plan, they have no goal. And this is not just the wife, it's both husband and wife, they are goalless. So those kind of people, it means that they come with 50,000, it means nothing to them. And this is what you see in most households. So the question is, finish school, get married, start having babies, not just one, not just two, not just three, because God will do it. And I know you said you don't want to go to that far, and God is not going to do anything because the time that you're supposed to seek God, you have left God, and then you are looking for God. So start by seeking God in those decisions. Start by looking at, and there's no how we're going to say this, that we can't put that God factor into it, in the sense that for somebody like me, I know that I have it's like an expo. So if I need to know about somebody now, I don't need to search too much further, because there are things, it's mystery, like Village Boy said. There are people that they can, they know how to do packaging. They can package it so well that it will be like, when you see akara, you'll be thinking like, okay, no, this is something else. They will package it so much that you'll be like, okay, I think I'm bought, I'm this. But that is where the spirituality comes in, because it would help those who, not those who that need that spirituality before. So it's like you're already in God, you're already a spiritual person, and then you need God's direction. That can be bought. You can get that. But you don't even know anything about God, and you're expecting, okay, one day it's like you are looking to buy something from God and you want God to direct you. Has it been directing yourselves before? Have you asked God for anything before? So for religious people, or will I say spiritual people, people who know God, they know that there's always a way where most of us will get expo. And I can say that from experience. Okay, so there's always a way where God will reveal certain things to his own, quote and unquote. So we can know those things, but those things is not just the only thing that we are looking. So it's when we have looked at everything, tick everything, I say, okay, the ones that we can't see, because there are things we cannot see just by looking. So the ones that we can't see, then we can ask God for direction and say, okay, I've seen this person, is this, is that, is this, is that. Even though you've already asked God from the start, but you still need to fact check some things to be sure that, okay, it's not your mind that is playing tricks on you. It's a fact that you have found. And then you're like, okay, God, these are the things I've done for my own part. This is what I need you to direct me with, and God can help you. That is extra, additional. Now, people who don't have God, would they not do those things right? Some people will. And that's why the mystery comes in, because some people can read people and they can get their facts right. But some of us cannot, because we just look at, okay, this person is okay today, is okay today. Somebody can have money today and not have it tomorrow. So that's where those plans and those talks, how do you handle failure? For instance, you will see people have money today, they cannot handle failure. So when you can handle failure, you can handle success. So, but people, we talk about success, we can handle success a lot of times, but we cannot handle failure. So that's another part that we should consider. I don't know if I've gone.
We will look at that part later. Thank you so much. You know, as some of us were talking, and I think I had to remember who I was before I got married, and at the point where I was going to get married. And I think I would ask my wife. I think I've asked her before. Maybe she didn't even give me a solid answer. I probably would ask her again why she think I was marriageable. Marriageable at that time, because I had nothing. You know, I probably would doubt myself if you put me in front of me now. Put me in front of me now. I will say no. That guy cannot be my marriage husband. He doesn't know what he's doing. You know, I'm telling you fact. Okay, this was me. Even though I probably thought I knew something then, but the me of now, judging the me of then, I would score that guy 0. At least, maybe at least something very close to 0. So I
But
probably
she
would
might be
ask my
looking
wife
at
again.
values. She might be looking at values.
Yeah,
Values cannot be quantified.
true, true. That's true. I want to ask Yeti, and then I'll go to the village boy. I want to ask Yeti the question of women in Nigeria, especially. How do they, you know, try to decode what we are talking about?
What you're talking about now?
Yeah.
What in what
How do they
context?
decode? How do they decode a guy that has prospect?
I think when you're talking to a guy I've spoken to guys that appear to have ideas. They look like they have prospects, but over time, when you are talking to them, and this is not even me that was in it for the marriage. This is just me that was meeting people as friends or meeting people as whatever. But when they've been talking about it, you notice that there's a lot of their ideas are very highfalutin. They are hot air. There's no concrete plan to bring it into place. There are no moves being made. So unless you like the razzle dazzle, there's something we say in Abuja about Abuja boys here. So we say Abuja boys, they can have a car, they might not have a house. So you see them, they come, they have this very lovely car, and they are talking about, this contract and this thing they want to see. And you will see all these things on their phone. You will see all these things. They're going to buy this, they're going to buy that. And you're like, this person actually has prospects. It's by the time you are listening to them, and then you are hearing that, this person actually, there's no real idea to put this thing on the ground. There's no consistent hope for money. They're hoping to hit it big at once, and even though that hitting it big hasn't come, and all those other things, you just be hearing everything is all up in the air. When we're listening to a man, first of all, as Abby said, their values are very important. Personally, as a person, I would those people that you said that they worked all day in the village, and they worked all day in the village and whatever. I don't even see the truth of the issue is that there's some people that is what they are happy about. That's what their lives are about. That's what makes their life satisfactory. If you gave them an easier way to do it, they wouldn't want it. That is what makes their life fulfilled. They like to go to the farm, work from morning till night, come back. They like the whole things fall apart kind of life and stuff like that. And I've met a few of those that their whole lives are on a farm. Even as we are speaking, they are on Facebook, but their whole lives are on a farm. They have chickens, they have fish, they have all kinds of things, and they wouldn't have it any other way, But women, when we are listening to the men, you are listening to them, you can hear the idea. If what you are listening for is the right thing, not that you are listening to a man that said, I went to Dubai yesterday. And if you see the place, if you see, I bought a bottle of wine, that bottle of wine was 200,000 naira. Oh my God. If you see this shirt I'm wearing, it's designer, I bought it 50,000 pounds. If that is what you are listening for, then they can actually razzle dazzle you. But if what you are listening for is values, if what you are listening for is not just their plans, but their plans for execution, if what you are actually listening to you, and a lot of them actually listen to you, they actually listen to you just to know if you are somebody that they can sit on and not do anything, and you will pay all the bills too. Honestly, that goes on here. So they're actually listening to you too, but you want them to listen and be making input into what you are saying. They're giving you better ideas. But most of the women I know, that is how they know a man that has prospects. For people that are not very religious, as Abi said, a lot of things are, even for people that are religious, that's the honest truth. A lot of things are hit and miss. You have to rely on yourself a lot of the time. For people that are not very religious, you have to, because even God said, you go and find your wife. All those God told me, I don't know, you know. But I do know that people that have consistently invested time in listening, getting to know somebody, tracing where they're coming from, going to their homes. Some people got, my husband, one of the first things he did was, even as it was that we met in school, he made sure that when I was in Lagos, when I went to Lagos, he came to my house. Our house, and I was embarrassed at the time because our house wasn't much. It was just, and I was like, this guy is just going to be like, oh. But he loved our house because what it showed him was we were down to earth. We were very whatever. He met my mom, you know, at that time he met my siblings, and then he got an idea of the way we functioned. And so after that, he was like, okay, this is it. And when I met his family, I listened to the way, I listened to what his sister was a lecturer. His other sister was, you know, they were a family of hardworking people. They had values, some kind of values. And so I thought that that was the way forward. So I think if you actually just listen, open your eyes and watch, and not for the things that you think, oh, his clothes are very fine, the agbada very big. No, listen and watch for the things that are important. I think that's what they do to actually see if a man has prospects. If your issue is prospects and not just instant money, prospects. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, both of you. That's Abi and Yeti, for stressing the issue of value. And I appreciate the fact that we've been able to bring that out. And, you know, there are some of the things that I told my wife I was going to do then that has taken me many years, but I'm finally doing them. You know, that is to say that these are perhaps some of the things that she saw, which was difficult for me to even see that it was going to come to pass. But these were things that I would want to have do, and I think I knew a little bit of way of how to achieve them. So it is important that somebody have value. It's important that you have a plan. It is important that you have a goal and how to achieve the goals. Thank you so much. Now, Village Boy, before I come to you, let me quickly go to Madam Dorothy. She's back. Madam Dorothy, do you want to continue your thought, or you want me to ask you another question?
Okay. I was going to say that knowing someone that has value is not from what he says. Because these days, men generally believe that women like lies. Women prefer to be lied to, so they lie a lot to us. How can somebody tell a girl that his father owns airport, his father owns the national stadium? Because these are the things that girls want to hear. To know a man that has prospects is you have to discuss the right things. While he's discussing, you may just paint a picture, paint certain pictures of issues, and hear his opinion. His opinion on certain issues, you'll be taking note. If somebody said, if you tell him that, oh my God, I saw in the news today that a young man used his mom or his sister for rituals and he's now rich. If he says things like, oh, of course, anything you have to do it. Once you get money, anything you have to do it. Then that's scary for you. You should know that this one tomorrow can even use you for ritual if there's anything like that. Or can even steal if he works in a company and bring shame to you. And then you are discussing and he talks like he doesn't have value. He doesn't give a damn. You know, from discussing, as you are talking, ask him about his family. Again, today, the world today, children make mistake today. You want to marry a man, you are the only one examining him. You are the only one talking to him. You don't allow your parents, your seniors to interview him. You don't allow them to get fast for you. And when they do get fast from you, you just tell them, no, I love him. He said this. You believe more in what he said than his actions. Read his actions and study him like every other person have said. Like you already talked about your wife. She had foresight. She saw you in your raw material stage. And she believed that, yeah, with a little push, with a little cancer, with a little help, with a supportive hard work, this guy has a prospect. This guy can make it. It's always better than the basis. Like a man was telling his wife the other day, Shut your mouth. You know how I make my money. I already made my money before you came here. So you cannot tell me what to do. You see? So these are things that women are not careful with. All that glitters are not gold. It comes with a car. Who has the car? Is it on hire purchase? You don't know. He takes his picture, makes enlargement, and put another man's house. You go there and say, oh my God, he has a beautiful house. Some drivers in Lekki, one driver in Lekki did it. His boss traveled and he brought his girlfriend to the home. And the girl, even a banker, she has money, she has car, yet she couldn't decode that guy was just a driver. Until after they got married. And he now saw that the guy has just 2 rooms somewhere. The problem started. So I don't know. I don't want to talk too much. Ask any question you want to ask me.
Sorry, I would come back to you with another question. So let me quickly go to the village boy. Village boy, do you think young men of today struggle to impress or appear attractive to women?
Thank you very much. They don't struggle. They act to appear attractive. They believe appearing attractive is the new thing. It is what they practice. They demonstrate, impressing people. Most of them live fake life. Apology to Tunde, which I know is authentic. Most of our young people, both male and female, they live very fake life. You see, I want to women. I mean, giving the example of your wife, women sometimes when it come to marry, they are more discerning because they plan for marriage earlier. I said that the other time, earlier than men. So it's a sensible woman. What they do is like they hire mercenaries. Let me use the word mercenary in quote to investigate their boy, the guy they want to marry. You wouldn't know somebody who has had conversation with you on their own account, who had the discussion with you, and I mean, in your vulnerable state, in you, and the person will go and give a feedback. This guy, I have a conversation. I mean, I've been engaged. I must confess before that somebody go and, by some ladies, go and talk to him. I want you to assess that guy. And the person will not know. I will not disclose. There's a non-disclosure agreement in there. You don't disclose, and it's not that you are breaking the men code anyway. So you discuss, you have a conversation, and you make your impression known. Especially people, some women who are wise, they seek counsel, and like Abi said, they pray too. Even there, I know there is some also danger because some of them fortunately fall into fake prophets and they are deceived and they run into trouble. But the principle I tell you, like they that know their God, they shall be strong. You have to know your God yourself. If you are the one that is going to marry, what I advise people that if you are the one that is going to marry, you are the one that is going to pray the prayer yourself. Go on your own knee and pray and ask God to guide, to lead you, because it's a dark market. So all the slang, oh, you have armored, you have all these things. It is a deliberate action by men, young men, to impress young ladies. Some go to dry cleaner who are working in dry cleaning firm. They even steal clothes and use it. Some go to rent clothes from dry cleaners. When you go to your dry cleaner, they are telling you that the clothes is not ready. They have rented it out to these young boys to go and impress women. There are a lot of things. Some go to Ayaka and all that. And again, because they know most of these ladies, they like that too. Everybody want to show, like I said the other time, you want to be posting yourself as love of my life, LOML, on Twitter. Twitter is even a very crazy place. And when you look at all this, you say, look, you weep for this generation. There's so much fakeness, so much fakeness.
LOML.
LOML, love of my life. Somebody you met 50 hours ago. So, but the wise one, what they do is like they engage other people to examine you. You may not know those you have had conversation with. If your wife will confess to you, she may tell you that she has somebody to go and actually discuss with you, to actually able to test you who you are. And again, I'm also give to some women, especially when they are in love, sincerely, they are able to discern. They see in us, man, sometimes what we don't see in ourselves. That is also very true. And those are those when they now deliberately act to channel your path towards you realizing that aim. So those are the those are the things that still happen. Those who are looking for highway, fast road, most of the time they crash along the line because they know there is no foundation. There's nothing wrong to to be spiritual, but don't fall into religious shenanigans. Who might deceive you, might ask you to get money, bring money, who might ask you to go and bath in one stream or the other. Those who will mislead you, but you endeavor to know God yourself and ask God and pray your own prayer. Some young people when they come to me, I will ask them, okay, if you are what is your testimony? What did you see? What is it that thing that convinced you that this person is your spouse? I remember one guy who came to me one day that I asked him rather, what did you see in this guy? He said, the guy is beautiful, the guy is this. I said, oh, that's very fantastic. And I said, okay, I'm not a prophet of doom. I said, supposing this your beautiful lady is traveling from Lagos to Ibadan, have an accident and everything, will you still love her? The guy started scratching his head. I said, you are not sincere to yourself. So you don't really love this person. So if you are not ready for the ugly side of the person, then you don't love the person. Go and think. Go and pray more. Don't deceive yourself. Don't just jump into this thing. Yes, men today, young men, live to impress girls, but they do it in a fake manner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Village Boy. I will go to Abi and then to Yeti and then Madam Dorothy again. So, and the question is this: do women, and I'm sorry, excuse to African women, do you think a lot of African women, or maybe women generally, not just African women, excuse me, do you think women kind of, maybe subconsciously or deliberately, submit to men that has money?
That's a very tricky question, and I think it's backing Madam Dorothy's question, the statement at some point. I don't know, maybe today or last time. That's a tricky one. Most women who submit to men who are financially okay, they are submitting because they don't have values themselves before. So if I get married to someone, or if this person get married to the person, you are financially okay and you get married to somebody that is financially okay, I don't think that submission would be so obvious, like the way, the kind of submission that I think that we are talking about. But most people, like I said, the reason they got married to someone is not because they have similar values. It's not because they have shared values. It's basically because of money. If that is the case, and the person that has this money does not have value, they don't have choice than to submit. So when I'm talking about women who understand their role or their significance of being a woman. So a woman that knows the significance of being a woman, knows her value, even when she doesn't have enough up to her husband, that doesn't make her just say, oh, I'm submitting. And it depends on our definition of submission. I don't mean submission by total way of saying enslaving, because you can two work together except they agree. That's, it's not possible. So you have to agree together. So if somebody is submitting, it means that you are submitting to that person's value. You're submitting. And at the end of the day, this submission thing, as long as we are looking at it from the biblical point of view, which is where it came from, I will still say that we are submitting to one another. But when you're talking about a rich person without value, yes, the woman will definitely go on the enslaving kind of submission. So I don't know if I've answered your question rightly or if you want to.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I love the attempt. So I'll go to Yetunde.
Yes, sir. What I think, as Abia said, I think we all as human beings, because our value systems are different. There are some families to which I will bring my values that are all about honesty, a man that has integrity, a man that is hardworking. And the families, the mother will look at you and slap your face and say, "Why did I raise such a stupid child?" You have to look at the money. So I think we all have different value systems. The one thing is to look for somebody who has a value system that is similar to yours. Um, for women, that their values are, and I don't necessarily want to say that their values are wrong per se. I will say that their values are different from mine because, as I said, maybe they were raised to see money as something that was all powerful, unchanging. Money answereth all things. If they were raised in that kind of home, then I can't even say that what they are thinking is wrong. But if you have that kind of girl, when she sees a man, that is the same thing that when you see a man, if you are somebody that was raised to see a man that has integrity, a man that is smart, a man that is hardworking, a man that if you are raised to see him as something wonderful, it will take you nothing to submit to him. You will submit to him so easily. But if you are the kind of person that money is your God, when you see a man that carries your God, you will submit real easy. So I think it's about the value system. Whoever it is, any woman that you see that her God, small g, is money, when she sees a man that carries her God, small g, she will submit very easily and she will follow it down to the, and like as I said, I can't even say it is wrong because that might be what she's taught from home. But when it comes to, is Abby trying to say something?
No. I'm just saying yes. I
Okay.
agree with you.
Okay. But when it comes to some people like us that were raised in a certain kind of way, our values are different. Then, of course, when you see a man that has money, you can't submit to that because that is not your God, small g. What you are taught is very different. So you can't say all women submit to money. The people that worship money, they will submit to it. And I go as far as to even say that I can't even say it is wrong because maybe that is what they were taught. But what I know from my own value system is that money is something that is mutable. You can have money today, you might not have it tomorrow. The richest man in the world can whatever, and then when that money leaves that person, what happens to the submission that she's bringing because of the money? So those are the kind of questions that we want to answer. So once the money has left, then the submission has gone through, and any other love she has for you follows her God, small g, and goes away. And you have to be ready for that when you are that. If that is how you bought her, If that is what you're getting, then you have to be ready for that. But those values that we are talking about that are intrinsic in the person, they are actually inside of you, and nobody can really take those. Then those ones are not going anywhere. They're not very mutable. That is why you look at those values and say that is what you should look at. I think that is why. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Dorothy, it's your turn. You're muted, ma.
I'm on mute.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Abe and Yeti have done justice to the topic on ground. The only thing I have to add is this. Those ladies married to rich men, they cannot afford but submit and even lick shit because they don't want their friends. They cannot afford to leave that position. They don't want their friends to laugh at them. So they have to put up every appearance, take everything the man throws at them. So that their friends can, point at them and say, "Oh, look, her husband bought her jet. She has a limousine. She has this. So they cannot afford to let those stories go behind. Yet they are suffering in silence. They are not happy. The man talks to them anyhow, behaves anyhow. Even they know the hotel he takes his side chicks to. They can't do nothing. It's poor man's or average wife that goes to a hotel to fight with a side chick. Because such rich men, when you do that with such rich men, from that hotel, you go to your father's house, you won't even come back to his house. So, and a woman gives up all this. My concern is the way they submit without complaining. And yet, a man who is married, who is financially average, and lower, their wives keep complaining about submission, keep making it a competition, keep making it an equal thing. But look at those that are married to this. That's my point I'm making. Why are we having submission issues? Those who marry rich men, why are they not having such issues that we are having with the struggling guys, so to say? So it's their choice. They married for money, they submit to money. And every other girl wants to marry rich man too, so that they can be on top, so that they are all this marriage about rich men is for their friends to celebrate them, for them to wear their designer, ride the base cars. But inside you, inside that house, are you happy? So that's I don't want to take too much of your time.
Thank you, ma. Village Boy. After Village Boy, we are going to be preparing to round up. I think we have done justice to this topic, to this subject, especially because we are rounding up with emphasis on values. So I particularly love it, and I'm saying thank you, kudos to you, to everyone that has participated in this session. So, Village Boy, I want you to quickly answer this question, please. Why should a man be expected so much of in terms of bringing money compared to their, women or female counterpart?
Why should a man bring more money than the female?
Yeah.
You are still confused about that, right?
I'm not. I'm just asking you.
Okay, you want to be the head, right? And you like every man wants to be the head of the family. So headship is responsibility. What does the Bible even say? If a man cannot provide for his own house, it's worse than an infidel. He has denied the faith. You don't remember that when you are quoting submission. So it is the responsibility of the man to bring money to the home. I know in modern times, the woman as a helpmate can augment that money, but that does not, just like when we talk in delegated authority, that the responsibility, the primary responsibility cannot be delegated away. But life happens. There are instances where the woman may earn more than the man. And the woman is bringing more to the table in terms of finance. But the man a reasonable man, a responsible man must also compensate for such a wonderful woman in his life. So it is expected, and even the society is screwed. In some organization, in some countries, men earn more than women for the same job. These are fact of life, which you can, unless you want to deny it. You are doing the same job, you have the same degree, you have the same qualification, but because you are a man, you are given priority. And so the extra money that you are earning, what are you supposed to do? Use it for your side chick, or to be eating pepper soup? The money is probably for your family. So a man, a responsible man, who is fortunate to earn more, should spend more on his family. So in fact, it is said that a happy man, a happy woman is, you find a man who can meet all her needs without complaining. So it is your responsibility as a man to provide. But like I said, life happens. There are times that things may go the other way around. Then if you have mutuality, that's why the other time I was conversing for mutual interdependence, and you thought I was terrorizing. So that is where the left is watching the right hand, and the right hand is watching the left hand, and both hands are cleaner than each washing itself. So I sometimes ask, so what is wrong with this young generation? Men that want to fully depend on women. Yes, it is good that you want to marry the woman that want to bring things to the table, something to the table. That does not mean that you fold your hand is now the woman that is bringing everything to the table. That is callousness. That is wickedness. A man, for instance, even when a woman is working, the time a woman is pregnant, she deliver, she's on maternity leave. All those periods, what does a man do? A man keeps working. So a man primary, because the burden of a woman, I must say, in raising a family is even much more, is already heavy. So the finance aspect of it is the responsibility of the man. But again, since life, that we say life no balance, sometimes things don't. The woman may be more fortunate. The woman may be more fortunate in terms of finance than the man. So you, as a man, must strive to provide. Do your best. Make sure that you do your best. And again, when you make the money, you owe primary responsibility to your family. If you want to be good boy, fine boy, nice boy outside, and your family is suffering, you are already a cost unto yourself. Sorry to use that very strong word. And let me quickly, before I round up, to express a different opinion that wife of rich men submit to them. I don't agree that they submit. They are just like they are frustrated. The man, most rich men don't even have time for them anyway. So where is the submission come from? They don't cook for the man. You probably will have house help. You have probably have a house cleaner. You have someone doing laundry. What is the submission? The submission there is that it's more like they are cowed. Let's use the right word. They are not submitted. They are cowed because their opinion doesn't count. They don't even have conversation. They are like glorified house help. That is not submission. Submission is something that you do out of your heart, something you do willingly, something you do lovingly. An average woman who is not working but is married to a rich man is a frustrated human being. I'm sorry if I sound very crude here. I don't consider that to be a submission. Submission, I think, is because we are put on due religious garb on the word submission, that we think it's it doesn't make the wife the slave of the husband. It shows that you carry yourself along in decision-making process. That is why the verse 21 that Abisu emphasized makes a lot of meaning. Submit one to another. Do every decision that affect the family, you jointly consider it. Everybody input is into it. It doesn't have to be 50-50. So when we talk about joint decision making, doesn't mean that all the ideas there must be half. Even if it is just if it is just discussing the nitty-gritty of the decision with her and she consented to it, you have carried her along. It doesn't mean that she's the one that generated the idea. All of the idea that she has generated that you have nothing about, you consider it together and you go ahead and execute it. So that is what it means to submit one to one another. So there is like that kind of relationship between a extremely rich man and a woman. It's not a partnership. It is a master-servant relationship. And the issue of submission does not arise. That is my humble submission. Thank you.
Thank you, Village Boy. Okay, I was speaking for a generation that is gradually being canvassed for among the educated or scholars, so to say, and that is the fact that what a man can do, a woman can do, all right, which may be a little bit contrary to some of us, all right, and I understand, but I've seen a man. I think in the initial when we started this series, I spoke of a Briton friend of mine whom I met in Abu Dhabi, who was a stay-home dad. Okay, they have 2 kids. He stays home. The wife is a Nigerian origin who is a UK citizen, probably has never visited Nigeria. Okay, but she was a Nigerian descent, and she works in the Ministry of Education, works full time. Her husband stays home full time, and he doesn't complain. He's happy, and this is an agreement between the two of them. So there are things I think in this day and time that we may not be able to generalize expressly. And I understand our sentiment, whether as per our culture, as per religion, I understand this sentiment, but at the same time, I think it's also important to consider such people in such situations.
Sorry, let me coolly jump into there in there. That is what
Okay.
we call principle of comparative advantage that I was trying to converse in the other time. That when you get to the level of mutual interdependence, you are looking more at principle of comparative advantage. But you dismissed that submission because you thought I was terrorizing. So when there's an agreement between two parties, if the couple would have said, okay, you have advantage to earn more money than me, and they say, okay, here is the thing, why don't you go and do the work outside? I do the work inside. That is sensible couple who put the situation on scale. They must have had a very deep conversation before they get to that point. So, and because the man is not necessarily egoistic, he accepted. This does not contradict what I have said, that as a man, usually if you have advantage of working, yes, you should work and provide for your family. But if your wife has an advantage by reason of other factors that we may not know, and the guy agreed to be a stay-at-home dad, so that the family can have more income than if he goes to work and the wife stays at home, they have reckoned that probably they will earn less. So that is mutual agreement. That is the level of mutual interdependence.
All right, thank you, Village Boy. We round up now. I want to believe that this series has been a blessing to people who watch daily or who watch us every Saturday that we are presented. We've deal with how men in relationship, role of men in relationship, and this is the role of women in relationship, and we are rounding it up today. Next week we are going to be coming up with something different and fresh. So our guests will be rounding up with their concluding statements now. I'll start with Abby.
Yeah, just to buttress what you have said earlier, one thing that we must stress is that things are changing. We have evolved, no matter how we want to hold back to our previous sentiment, where you say, oh, it's a woman's role to look after the family, sit down at home. It's the responsibility of whoever or whatever that family decide to do. So if in your household, your wife is earning more and you don't have that capacity to earn more, you can agree. That shouldn't make the woman to be the boss of the house. That shouldn't make the house, and if it's vice versa, nobody should be bossy about anything. So in my opinion, I still love that Ephesians 5:21, submission to one another. And I think Village Boy helped me to finish it the other day. So I love it because what it shows is that we are not submitting as though we are slaves. We are not submitting as though that we don't give hierarchy to whom it is due, but we are submitting knowing that we are submitting each other's ideas. We understand each other. We know that, okay, this is what works for us. What works in your house is not going to work in my house. So as long as we understand that, and each family has different responsibilities. So it's our duty to just follow what works in your own household. Thank
you. Madam Dorothy.
Okay. My conclusion is this. I wish to appeal to this generation to give marriage a chance. I've had a lot of ladies say, I don't want to get married. I want to be a baby mama. Some men too say, I want to be a baby papa, whatever. I don't know how these things sound. Marriage is for companionship. Baby mama, baby papa, I don't know where those things are coming from. I want to appeal that with the right minds and with true love, we can truly enjoy marriage. And I want to appeal to the existing married people. Stop telling us only the ugly sides of your marriages. Tell us the good sides of your marriages so we can save the marriage institution. I hear some ladies say, once I can afford everything I need, I don't need a man. can you make yourself pregnant? The baby you raise needs a father figure, needs a mother figure. Together we can say, let us write the stories about marriage institution. I have enjoyed marriage, and I believe everybody else can enjoy marriage with the right mind. God has given everybody a lane. The man has his lane, the woman has his lane. Everybody stay in your lane, appreciate one another. Let us rewrite the stories of marriage institution. We need one another. Everyone needs somebody. A time will come, your children will all grow up and gone. You'll be left with that man, that woman. When there's crisis in marriage, remember the love you first shared, the first week of your marriage, when you were courting, before marriage. Rekindle, think back, and sure, you will see things that make you forgive that person. If your spouse has changed or is changing, find out, have a talk, go on a date, go on holiday, find out why are you this now? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You know, if you think the center cannot hold, you can separate temporarily and come back together again. I believe that marriage can be enjoyed and not endured. If you get to the level where you're hating each other, talk to counselors, talk to somebody, pray about, do something. Don't just, and for the young people, please, I beg you, men, stop looking for a woman that will pick your bills. It is totally wrong. Women can really look for a man that can pick her bills to marry. We are weaker says, don't forget. Not be we do ourselves. Now God give us. Don't envy us. But be a man. Don't look for a woman. A woman will assist you. She will help you. But don't look for a woman to pick your bills. It puts you in a bad shape. Everybody has to contribute. Everybody has to come on board together. You bring your idea. And my dear wives, when you give your husband a suggestion, or when you contribute to points on ground, do not force your suggestions on him. Put your cards on the table. Even if he doesn't take it immediately, give him time. Your presentation matters. You can't say, no. I am your wife. You must take what I say. No, we are together. What the hell are you saying? What makes me different than you? No. Presentation matters. Present your ideas with respect and humility. He will give it back to you. What you give back is what you get. So that he will think about it later, but don't force your ideas. And it is not compulsory anyway that he takes your ideas. And then for a man who won't take your wife's ideas and who won't consider your wife, if he backfires, if she packs her load and leaves you, she did no wrong. So let's balance these things. And God bless us as we do this. Thank you for this session. I enjoyed myself.
Village boy.
Well, thank you very much. Madam Director has almost said everything. But I want to also caution that we should not see marriage as a linear relationship. The one thing I pick from what you said, that everybody maintain a lane. There should be no lane any longer. At the level of mutual interdependence, we employ the principle of comparative advantage. So no particular marriage is the same. So you should decide what works for you, but work with mutual agreement, mutual respect, mutual love, mutual understanding. Mutuality is what I'm advocating in marriage. So we should bear one another burden, which is also scriptural. Though somewhere down the lane to say, bear your burden yourself. But just like the issue of of Abi issue, say bear ye one another's burden. So that is what marriage should be. And I can tell you, marriage is beautiful, marriage is excellent, marriage is wonderful. It's when you have a good marriage, you will enjoy it. But they also say that a happy wife is a happy life. So make yourself happy. And for men, especially those that my in-law will call Kenwe, those who tie hand, Aradites, women need more money than men. This is a fact of life. That is not their make. It is not their fault. It's their physiological makeup. So you should know. Don't complain that your wife is spending more than you. She has to spend more than you. That is a fact of life. So if you understand these things, there will be less frictions. There will be less quarrel in marriages. Marriage is beautiful, but work to get to the point of mutual interdependence, mutual love, mutual respect, mutual everything. Thank you.
Sorry, village boy, I'm sorry. The lane I mean is the lane that's a husband, that's a wife. That's the lane. God defined it. So I don't know, I don't understand when you say there's no lane. There's a lane. God defined the man and God defined the woman. God defined each person's role towards the same target of a peaceful home, for peace to reign in the home. Any home there's no peace, there's no way the man will go to office making mistakes. The woman will go to her shop making to her office making mistakes. So for that home and peace, there's a lane, there's a husband, there's a wife. They have different names and different functions, which they will harness together toward the same end, toward the same target, the same goal.
The challenge with that lane now is the reason why many of our men believe that they cannot cook, they cannot wash plates, they cannot wash clothes, because those things are in the lane of women.
No, it's not biblical that they are in the lane of woman. It's not in the Bible. It's not biblical. Okay, village boy, you know the Bible did not tell you that when you go after using the bathroom, you should clean your bum. No, it's not everything that the Bible told, that the Bible said. But the lane of the man and a woman is distinct. We know these things. It's not about washing plates. Anybody can wash plates. Like I said last time, the hands are clean, and when washed together, no one survives in isolation. We need each other.
Exactly.
True. I agree with you.
But let us not draw line of lane. Let us not draw any line. Let us work together.
We should go into different lanes.
Okay, the village boy and Mama Dorothy, I would find time for both of you to discuss this issue out, but we have to go now. Thank you so much, and I want to say that I hope that we've had fun, especially our guests. I want to hope that we've enjoyed it. And since I have made a personal example of myself earlier, I'd like to say these few things to young men out there who are probably thinking of getting married. There are a few things that I pick about myself because I said I was probably not going to recommend myself when I was younger, when I was going to get married. But there were a few things that stood out about me in those days. And one of them was that I was raw. I was not going to pretend to impress anybody. Okay? I was honest to a fault. I was very ambitious, even though I had nothing. I wasn't one of those guys who would want to pretend, or struggle to impress anybody, including women. So I want to also say in closing that we should allow ourselves to be humans. Let's allow ourselves to be humans. And the implication of that is that humans grow, humans change, humans improve, humans develop. Everybody, including men and women, can develop. So I advise that we give ourselves the opportunity to grow, give ourselves the opportunity to improve and develop. Thank you so much. And we will be back surely by next weekend. So I want to say thank you, special thank you to all our guests, Mama Dorothy, Yeti in absentia, Timilei, Tunde, Abi, and the village boy. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough. And for our viewers, we want to say a special thank you. Thank you for all those who have shared it. Please, if this is the one that you have seen, please, I ask that you go back to the previous ones, and you can reach out to us in any form or any way. You can even drop a message on this channel, and we will get back to you, or send us an email at contact@opinionsharers. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.